start. Greetings, everyone. We are back with more Disco Elysium. We're having a not great time, not passing the checks we gotta pass. And we're kind of burning daylight a little bit. Alright, so we weren't able to shoot the body down. We weren't able to get it down conventionally. So we are in a position where we're either going to have to lean into a racist ideology to convince the heavily muscled man to help us, or gonna have to do something a little sneakier. Oh, the body is looking worse and worse. Alright, we might be able to go through this side door.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Alright, let's try to push our way through this.
Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, easy on the eyes. Rhythmic pattern calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff. No, there's more to this. You get this strange feeling.
What feeling? Tell me, Inland Empire. You've never steered me wrong.
Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially the small ones.
Well, looks like we're gonna have to do some stuff to level up so that we can make room for the advanced race theory thought. Oh well, I guess we can take it and just forget about it down the line. You got anything new for us, Kuno?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Empathy legendary. Try to figure out what's going on with this kid. Maybe we'll come back to him. I'm off for now.
Doesn't fucking care.
Let's try to check our batch. Let's try to talk. No, we don't want to talk to headquarters yet. They can't know what I've been doing the past 4 days.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
Press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canelo comes to life with a whiny growl.
Metal. Press the button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, a shimmering iridescent pattern appears. One you've definitely seen before.
There she is. Revachol West.
There was a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look around you.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we on this? Point to the halogen map.
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Seems nice.
No, it does not.
The lieutenant says without optimism. Look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the different rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them individually.
You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
What about that last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
Only 3?
That's it.
Hey, Kim. What will these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years I've done this? Got drunk like a megastar. I walked the land telling whores and liars of the end to come. Probably some boring office job. I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. Do you really think I have any idea? First of all, like, holy shit, I've done this 18 years.
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Got drunk like a megastar. Let's say we've established a brand and we gotta drive it home.
Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
See, Kim? I told you I was a superstar.
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
I was expecting a higher number, if we're being honest.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
So you're saying I gotta step up my game. Listen, just let me find my gun and we'll get poppin'.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thank you for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Alright, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Some kind of superstar.
What has our superstar thought unlocked?
They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
I love it. Logic -1 price of self-delusion. I mean, I'm glad we started off with a high logic then, because, damn. Alright, we gotta level up to unlock another thought. Mousy and socioeconomics will have to wait. I guess we're gonna have to take advanced race theory. What are our tasks? I'm not gonna report that my gun and badge are missing. Absolutely not. To name unknown. Apocalypse Cop 1, Sorry Cop 2. I mean, I apologize to Sylvie profusely. Superstar Cop 5. Communist 5. I have 1 fascist point. How dare. 2 moralist points. Good cop, bad cop. I have 7. Oh, I have no honor. I mean, that fits. People killed. The case is solved. Years in service. I like that they put that there. It's so nice for us. Who made the call reporting the crime? Pay for damages. I have no money. Union box. Put the clothes in the trash. Buy the pants from Kuno. No. Run the number on... Okay, run the serial number. Let's do that.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a puller. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch, labeled heat.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They're also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
Pick up the radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me?
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
E50-100 1000. The make and model of the armor is Fairweather T500 VE.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isoleri law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
I was told I need to connect to my station, the 41st Lazarus.
It will take just a moment, officer.
Alright, we'll call the doctor person, but I'm not reporting my badge missing.
The voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Just a routine checkup.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, it's Firewalker here.
Firewalker? Oh, yes, you are. Just don't breathe in the general direction of your fire feet. Actually, wait. Do exactly that. Put yourself out of your misery. Take a deep, diaphragmatic breath in and...
It would be an artistic statement of some kind or another.
Cop sets fire to himself. That would be quite an interesting conceptual piece, don't you think?
Sounds more like a newspaper headline that will surprise absolutely no one. Now, do you have any current, pressing medical problems?
I've lost my memory. All of it.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
There is no surprise in his voice, only careless superiority.
You're not surprised. Neither am I. Okay. Anything else?
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
I won't. Because I'm a superstar.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
I think I've had a heart attack.
And you survived it. Congratulations. Are you mobile?
Yes.
Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary trouble all the time. Also, death is a natural part of life.
Accept it. The body is an object, and objects break down. Do what good you can with yours, before the rest goes too.
Is there anything at all you could do for me?
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
Yes, I need the truth. I need to know.
You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home. We don't have the funds to deal with rock stars past their prime.
Alright, this is collaboration that I am indeed a rock star.
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like Mactosin.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's superglue, Doc.
Cyanoacrylate is superglue.
I guess that's it for now.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Nope, that's it.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see
You close the door. Leave. Alright. We can unlock a thought slot, and we can try to internalize race theory. Alright, we have like an hour and a half to kill. Well, that's internalizing. I guess I could sit here and read my cases. Or just explore a little bit more. An ancient fountain that doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Some great tectonic force has cracked the pavement like an eggshell. Tire tracks leading onto the roof. The slush and rain has almost washed them off. A sewer grate, a gateway to the river of filth. Roy's pawn shop, fast cash for faster times. Fingerless gloves, electrochemistry. Interesting. Water, lock out of order until Wednesday. Who are you?
Good day to you, officers.
a burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
Do you know what caused this wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershell.
The words Daredevil Driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
He thinks for a moment.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Can I have some of that salami?
Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
What a nice dude.
Why not?
The lieutenant ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews on it. Alright. Good talk. Let's check out the pawn shop. I don't have anything to pawn, but... wow, there's a lot of shit in here. Mostly military wear with a few more eccentric fashions.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Is that a streetlight?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
How much for the streetlight?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Let your gaze run over the streetlight.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
It would, but I cannot afford it. A bust of a woman. The plaque simply says, Day. A film projector whirling away. Some kind of machine. An antique register?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
Listen, Volition, I got a lot of respect for you, but Inland Empire has never steered me wrong. Inspect the Blue Knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Point at the knights on horseback. Who are these guys?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these folks even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It is impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Gart, whose bitchin' made me.
Okay. I don't like either set too much, to be honest.
I'm not gonna do this right now, because I don't plan on putting points into interfacing, but I'm gonna wait until I come back with, like, I don't know, some gloves or something that help me with that. In fact, I think right now I'm wearing the gloves that do help me with that. I may return, because I want to follow that thread. Let me step away from the table. Let me save just in case I like royally fuck something up talking to this dude. What's up here?
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite.
I was fated to come here.
Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
Never uttered that statement to me again.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
Don't like music? What do you like then?
The stuff I record myself. Silverware shaking in drawers as motor cars race by. Nocturnal animals climbing on the roof. Airship rotors. That kind of thing.
An ambient noise kind of man.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experimental sounds he's describing.
What I really want to know is, could this device come handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Shopkeep. This Stereo 8 approved machine here?
Is the Harman Welsh W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Alright, I'll start saving up for it. I don't have that kind of capital on me right now. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. A sewer entrance. Let's talk to this fella.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
He's speaking my language.
How about some premium class service over here? Like paying with net worth. Go home and ask him if you can do that. Save the economy. That sounds off.
Save the economy? What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Thanks for the advice. I'll try to be more economically conscious.
Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
Browse through the
You
box.
find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Find something worth salvaging from that pile of rags.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Let's check this box over here.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box. A variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
The vendor takes a pair of sunglasses and sticks them under your nose.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him.
Try the shades on.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for $2.50.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
You're right. I'm too sensible for those. They're not superstar material.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Shades of self-destruction. Nah. Rummage through the box.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
Formidable conceptualization. Try again. Maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses. Hell yeah.
No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang, bang! And all for a mere 6 real.
Kim, are firefights something we should be prepared for?
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
Oh, it's a little frog visor, and it helps my perception. Alright, let's talk to this fella. Wait. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. Oh, the stats have different little colored dots. Interesting. The ad reads, broken window. Tibbs has windows. If you had a bag in your hand, you could collect these bottles. Oh, we're gonna pick up a bag. Huzzah. We have a bag. So now we can start collecting the empty bottles around town. A splatter of bullet holes lines the walls. Can I talk to this guy? Just reading some street signs.
Whoa. What have we here?
A bridge, visual calculus.
A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Kim, it looks like we've got a construction code violation.
True. They never cleaned up the wall damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though.
But Kim, think of the
The
splinters.
bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about.
I am extremely worried about this. I can cite a violation and get some money. We need it, Kim. Don't make me look like the asshole. Garden hose. Can I go in here? There must be another way into the building.
Down there?
Another splattering of bullets, holes in the wall. Looks like a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. Orange bum hat. You got anything new, Kunoiz?
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
Comes with being a superstar.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
It's impossible. I don't even have. Yeah, don't have nearly enough conceptualization stats to even make that, so no point in attempting it. Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Sanchez Lane, roundabout north. Frame of a motorcycle repair shop. There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint? Ma'am, did you spill the paint?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Let's start with blood type and go from there.
Go where? Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pig man. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
A brush? An artist? The red splatter is urban expressionism.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred? Disgust? It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershark. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
I like that she also uses fucko.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked.
Knock.
The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response.
Knock again.
The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Who am I speaking to, lady?
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
This is the police.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
The hallways echo her cackle. Please let me inside. It's cold out here.
No. I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Kim, tell her we're real police.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint, sweeping sounds inside.
I don't want to get stuck like having to talk to Joyce right now. This is worth more than you'll earn in your entire life. Oh, ain't that the truth? I don't know, I don't want to pay to use that right now.
This Post Lavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
Good mail delivery box.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Been there. Post Love and Chill mail collection box. Been there.
The mail collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Good talk. Got no way to get up on those roofs yet. I do believe it's starting to get dark. A foreign car kept in good condition. An old monument stands in the middle of Traffic Island, pointing towards the sea. It looks like it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philippe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippine kings of Revachol, son of Philippe II, the opulent, father of Philippe IV, the insane.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
What did this king do?
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
In what way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live.
I would like to sleep on gold, hustler style.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Okay, what is nose candy?
Cocaine.
This is a lot to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
So he was addicted to nose candy? A bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That's brilliant. So funny and nihilistic.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this art mystery will be solved at a later time.
And I will be the one to solve it.
The Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
Some good lore here. White tank top. Hey, we must have 5 real. We're going up in the world.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your
grandma.
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask you some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Snap your fingers in front of her face.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
But I need interviews, Kim.
Why? I just told you why.
Alright, listen, if you say so, damn. Alright, I think we've got as good a lay of the land as we can have right now. Can I go into Frit to drop off this these bottles?
The tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
I got a whole ass Real. We are pretty much halfway to getting our boombox. How much time do I have left on advanced? 45 minutes on advanced race theory. What are my tasks? The victim's tattoos. Ask Kuno about the rest of the armor. Okay. Let's see if Kuno knows about the armor.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck yeah, whatever. The fuck about it?
There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
A contusion is a bruise.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
You threw it away?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
You threw it in the sea?
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates.
What do you mean troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
You mean Mañana?
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
And you were just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost.
Alright, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Alright, let's go talk to Manya about it.
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all. So, what now?
Kuno told me you know about the armor.
The little boy had the good on his promise.
Promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock.
Sounds about right.
Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuno used this to what? Scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
So what did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly.
What's the technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up, 4 pieces? What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm ambitious. I'm gonna find all of the pieces.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay. Let's find all of it.
It's implied he finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
Gotta believe in me, Kim.
The Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you.
Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Let me read a case from my ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside.
Read a case file.
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
The Next World mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couron. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer.
Attention.
You and your
We are
partner
being
are
followed.
assigned to the case.
Shall I dispatch the welcoming drones?
Thank you for the follow, Momo Meow. We're just playing some Disco Elysium right now.
The Graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the Graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Maybe it was I the whole time.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between two options.
Wait, what is the mural again? A man and a woman kissing. True love is possible only in the next world for new people. It is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. Ooh. What would Disco Cop have done? Disco Cop is all about art. So yeah, keep the mural.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class. The middle class are not to be blamed. It's human nature.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
I can revisit this later.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile.
Alright. Advanced race theory.
Race theory.
God, I hate having to do this.
Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
Alright, good thing we're right here. Me just walking up with my little garbage bag.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Advice from Scab Leader. I think I know what the race enigma is.
And?
Paradoxically, you plan to supersede the Occidentals with your own race theory.
Look, the minion of law is also a racist, but his racism is basic and rote. He thinks he has solved the great race enigma by describing a road mechanism of scientific competition.
So unadvanced.
The basic race education he received in high school has led him to think his phylum are the sole authors of race theory. An esoteric study reaching back to the ancient mass society of Pericarnassus over 4,500 years ago. Basic racist, I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the harbor bad, like a little boy who wants to go on the potty. I can press the button for you. It will open the door.
That's all I wanted.
Very well. You may enter the door once. Our race conversation here has concluded.
Finally.
The unpromising race pupil returns. There is nothing fun. I cannot possibly.
Neat office shades. Book La Fumée, Volume 1, Number 4.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through the folders.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Let's go Volition.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, him, a to-do note with a list of errands for Everard.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Take another look at the note.
Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled. The drawer slides shut smoothly. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Sure, let's use
The
change.
machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Interfacing. Sure.
It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air. Undoubtedly, no. Sure, why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing.
Alright, we'll let that go. Let me save before I try to go upstairs. We can have a chat with Mr. Everard Clare. I believe this is what we'll be doing now. Collecting rainwater.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back. This is your cloak. You can feel it.
Lieutenant, I think that's mine.
Yes, it does bear the RCM insignia, and we are the only detectives in Martinez.
You think I should get it?
The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes, yes I do.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
It looks like Esprit de Corps is like my cop sense. Alright, I don't think I need savoir-faire for my conversation with that fella. Esprit de Corps and Shivers. Visual calculus, not drama. I can probably take off the bag right now. All around you, great machines are in quintessence. Let's equip the pry bar. Can I open this thing? Ultra Series gloves, half-light. Who are you?
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
How are you, Easy Leo?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his kind face. What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
What's going on here? Look at the mounds of containers behind him.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
This looks like a massive redecoration operation, Kim.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers?
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Thanks, Leo. You've been very helpful.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Where is everyone? The harbor looks empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is, and Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so.
What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
Too rowdy? Leo, what kind of fight did they get into?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Wait, who's this Miss Beaufort?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really.
You didn't think it was possible, but the smile becomes even wider.
Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
What do you mean by taking this soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Hold up, who makes it at the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manya in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something is off about this borscht. I'm gonna look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
What's in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
I'm looking for the leader of the Dock Workers Union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school, we did, when we were boys.
Easy, Nelia. I just want to know where I can find them.
Oh, Mr. Everett is usually in his office, of course. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 p.m. Bye-bye now.
Alright. Good info, Leo. Thank you for that. Just gonna save in case something happens. Alright, let's go talk to this fella. This is definitely not gonna go poorly in any capacity for me. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Let's save in case. I should have enough like healing items to make it through this conversation. So let's talk to him.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
Did he just finger gun me?
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop
So my name is
by.
Dubois.
Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
I don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
I'll take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink, and I'll try to wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say.
Yeah, fuck Guard.
This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
Wait, you know Guard?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Take the comically large check, but don't say anything.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
No, it's cool. I've got integrity.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Damn, I can't believe I lost both my badge and my gun. I mean, I can believe it, I just don't want to.
When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
I'm not worried. I got this.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Kim.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
We do need Mr. Clare's help.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Alright.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun.
Oh,
and
gosh.
those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry. Try to stay cool.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water. Sit upright.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Could you help me get a dead body down from the tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Also, I studied the footprints at the crime scene. Worker boots.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
He licks his fat lips and smiles.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
He picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right, then clicks a button.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Aren't you gonna ask me how I got in?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
It was a tactic I needed to get in somehow. It's not like I'm a racist now.
Of course, Harry. Of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist, Manya, and rest assured, no one's gonna hear about it. No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
You called me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's really my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
My memory is fine. I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Where did you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Let's get this straight. What is my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
I don't really like it.
Don't be silly, Harry. Harry Dubois, that's a real man's name. A Union man's. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can.
What kind of cop does it say I am?
Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar.
That's what I like about you, Everard. You get me.
Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages. Your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois.
The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois, hanging from the Cavalson crane, can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Somewhere in Mirova, a beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have left him."
Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or...
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
No, superstars don't have the time.
That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
Drama medium, have a look at the folder.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder, my friend.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
Call me the officer.
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Good, because neither do I.
A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois?
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Hold on. Could he really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Does this mean if I do things for you, I will get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
I'm not going to tell him I'm looking into the borscht. I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you like I'm helping you with the body and your lost gun.
You're a real pal, Everett.
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I've opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
I mean, I've been working out.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Fine, we'll do this.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manya. He's down by the gates. Manyana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great. We don't want to get stuck in here.
Here. You're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Thanks, Everett. Let me forget this race theory nonsense. And let's start internalizing Mazovia's socioeconomics. Giant novelty check. Oh, baby, we can almost afford that boombox.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Allumer on, étendre off.
Press on.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
Its purpose? Whatever do you mean?
Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers. Except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Press Arrête.
The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all. The crane does not return to it.
Alright, let's go check out that container.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
You do? Because I don't.
Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
Maybe there's contraband in there.
There may very well be, but we are not here to look for that. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Knock on the door.
No reply.
Leave it here for now.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard.
How hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
I must have been on an advanced scouting mission in the harbor.
Yes, this looks pretty advanced, all right. For now, let's just move on.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Kem, I'm gonna take a quick look inside.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
I'm stealing it.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that?
Something about this man piques my interest. I think this can be a side thing. I'm a cop, it's instinctual to collect evidence.
Fine. But let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
You look like you want to talk, Kem.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I still haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet.
You should take care of that then.
I don't have any money, Kim.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do.
Let's see if Eraserhead got the body down. Eraserhead, no, Measurehead.
Descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Everard told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. My unpromising raised pupil entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side.
Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Wait, that means showing everyone we're taking orders from the Union.
Yes. That is precisely what it means, homunculus. This is not going to happen any other way.
I love that he just called me a homunculus. Okay. Sure. Go for it.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Yeah, we're the law.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also wish I could see it.
Don't worry. Physical stuff like this is really easy for Measurehead. Mental stuff, too. He's really spiritual, you know. It's late outside, isn't it? You guys must really like doing what you do to be out so late.
She turns to behold a behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching the gates.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Farewell, Hamsonwich. You are a Union man from now on.
Alright, I guess let's do a... An autopsy. Why are you still outside, lady? It's so late.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Beautiful.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Hell yeah, field autopsy.
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
Got it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Why don't you know? What use are you?
You must have me confused with the Coppepedia.
Who's the Coppepedia? I think I need to talk to him.
You, sir. You are the Coppepedia.
Do you have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
I have gardening gloves. Maybe they're enough?
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
We just fill this in. Show him your red field autopsy form.
That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
I told you my name's not Rooney.
Come back later, Coppo.
Open the field ledger to field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Begin 1, assistant.
That's you.
Write the initials HDB.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just lies there. The next box says...
Coroner's case number.
KK57-0803. .0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone? 11:11. It's meaningful. 10:15. It's understated.
Yeah, 11:11.
Good. Let's go with that.
The lieutenant is quite surprised you've managed to come up with an adequate case number.
Name?
NA. Next.
Date of birth?
NA.
Age?
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm gonna write closest to 42.
He nods.
Race?
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
Write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex? No, thank you. The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Right, male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th, 51.
Let's do it.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
HDB 41 0803.1111 listens motionless with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
What exactly is treatment, anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
So like my gunshot wound when I missed.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
Turn the page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Write it down.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
When am I gonna get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Omit the boots. I want them.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Write it down.
Lividity is consistent with hanging, albeit faint, as noted. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
Damn, cuts deep.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Write down.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife with the other hand pulling on the belt. He starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut down.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
Oh no.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
That's your pig, Kuno.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
Cut the belt off. Oh no, I'm gonna fuck it up.
You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then...
Enough, cut some.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that faggoty! Corpse fucking time!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He steps in and takes the chain cutters from you. Yes, let him work. You do it.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Here.
He hands you the chain cutters back and then kneels closer to the body, running his finger along the dark red groove until he comes to a gap.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
I'm curious. I mean, I assume it's just being thorough, but why do we have to do that part?
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the genitals. Oh gosh.
The dead man's penis is average sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death?
Ah yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant.
Yes, processing signs. That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Just write down that we request an analysis.
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor.
Write it down. Add semen sample.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
The scarring is extensive, way more than a law officials.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
Pick up with the hand. He takes the man's hands in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. I will also inspect the hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? And what's your name?
My name is...
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Kobo. What can I do for you, Il Kobo de Cappadocia?
I got nothing for you, pal.
Nothing is as nothing does. This was pleasurable. I sincerely thank you for touching my hand. We should do this more often. Be close like this. I mean...
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal examination. Summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add the moral of this story.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
All right, N.A.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Shut up, Kunoiz.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched, as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
Look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Look deeper inside.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why, don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
Write an A.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there?
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Would obscure tidbits and odd trivia fit the fields?
No.
The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do.
We already have one test, as per regulation, and we already requested semen.
Pigs requested semen like it's no big deal.
Damn it.
I'm not even interested in his boring mulkus anymore. I haven't sucked him off or anything.
Can we change it to toxicology? Seems prudent.
At a request, then. We'll know if drugs or poisons remain in his blood. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with it.
Right, NA and add toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Write it down.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Amid the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries. Summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What about the injuries we have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
Okay, I have inflicted.
Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung, and an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention those. Better not to muddy the waters.
I agree, the waters were muddy enough.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Write it down.
And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal, post-mortem.
Right. Next.
What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Ligature mark.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Opinion. Fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
How'd it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, and then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something? I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Perception, legendary. Search the body one more time, thoroughly.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails, like Kim already did.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Yes, there's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Can he just hang out here for a little while longer?
If you want for this task to slowly become impossible, then yes. Otherwise, no. He's been hanging out far too long already. We need to ice him.
Not to mention the damage that would be dealt to the force's reputation by the corpse just rotting here like this.
Okay, where do we find the fridge for the body?
It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, but only if all else fails.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano, man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked?
Only if all else fails.
He stresses.
Kuno looks like he gets around. Knows Martinez. And its fridges too, probably.
Let's have another look at the body first.
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Gotta hate Kunoi's.
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Stop using the K word, it belongs in the past. Total R words use language like that. Congratulations, Kuno, you just made yourself... Oh. No, I don't want to be ableist in return. Stop using that word, Kuno.
Can't tell Kuno what words to use? Fucking kipped.
What is this, a word museum? You want to belong to a museum, Kuno, with the old people?
Fuck you. Kuno says kipped if he wants to. Kuno's dad says kipped all the time. Kipped's a cool word.
Kipped, kipped, kippity, kippty, kipped. Kippity, kipped, 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 kipped.
It's like a little engine has come alive on the other side of the fence. An engine that only says kipped.
Kipped. Alright, shut it down, see. The cunt has business to do.
I talked to Manya about the armor.
So?
Told me you promised to sick the pig. He said to thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway.
Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
I will remember this, Kuno.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
I need a fridge to stash the body.
For the fuck him. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing.
I thought you would. Where is it?
Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
Convince the Kuno to spill the beans.
By killing in his territory, someone has openly challenged Kuno. It's in his best interest to put them in their place.
Some arrogant shit thinks he can kill in the Kuno's kingdom without asking the Kuno first? That sounds like lawlessness to me.
A dark flame smolders in Kuno's eyes as he ponders your argument. Wordless, like kings do.
This outlaw's fate is in your hands. Let's make an example of him. Help me locate him using fridge body technology.
Alright, Kuno hears ya. See that shit house over there?
He points to the collapsed building with the bookstore.
A cold comes over you as you glance behind him at the crumbling colossus there, casting a shadow on you.
Yes, I see it. The big tall one behind you.
You gotta get in that shit. In there deep.
What do you mean in there deep?
Check the fucking basement, pig. Don't you know anything? Always check the fucking basement, recon style.
A white bear? A polar bear?
How do I get in the building?
Through the bookstore. You gotta beg the book bitch. Used to be you could get in there through the doorbell, jam that shit. Book bitch changed that. Kuno doesn't beg, so Kuno doesn't go there anymore.
Beg the book, bitch?
Yeah, book bitch, beggar. You stupid or something?
He means the bookstore. We have to ask the proprietor of the bookstore.
See, the clod gets it. Listen to your four-eyed friend.
Thanks, Kuno.
You didn't hear it from Kuno, pig. But don't forget where you heard it from.
Kuno owns you now, pig. You're Kuno's property.
We're off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Ah, fuck it. Let's unlock another thought slot. Let's select the hotel, dude.
You see ahead.
Can I help you?
So about the money I owe you.
Yes. Have you got it?
Can I pay with this check?
You must be joking, right? You come here, trash everything, and now you try to pay with a novelty check? This isn't a game show. I'm not going to accept it. You owe me cold, hard money. I want to see that money in the palm of my hand. Every single cent.
You can cash it in at the local frit near the harbor gates, though it might not be enough to cover it. And come to think of it, frit's probably closed at this hour. They are open from 7 to 11.
I was wondering if we could come to some arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I will pay you back tomorrow. I'm an honest cop.
As a police officer, you must understand that I cannot take you at your word without evidence. Evidence being money. You can't stay here without money.
This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Maybe we can talk to Joyce. Is Joyce still on her boat? That she is.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
Hello, Joyce.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is cold and tight.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Thank you, Kim.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You seem rich, can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What lustrous hair.
A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Okay.
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too.
I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. Hell yeah, let's embrace those commie vibes.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word, it, feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Cool. Your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
She makes a point of being unromantic about it.
How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
It feels pretty.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
But what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
It's just part of the tactic. We're throwing her off her rhythm.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
That's a euphemism.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
What do you mean, archipelago?
I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
I thought we were in Revachol.
We are, and the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Still haven't seen anyone else in a boat.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Yes, I do.
You have the guns and the ammo. Take this Clausen fiend down.
Let's talk about the economics of the boat you're on.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Precisamundo class wartime baby.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
He doesn't look like he thinks you'll best her in single combat.
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A? This old proletarian haunt here. As I said, plenty of people drive boats of all social strata.
Fire back, quick. Damn.
She takes a sip.
It's gonna happen.
Okay.
Something is about to happen in here.
Of course.
Nothing happens for quite a while.
They will come from my head, the arguments.
As they do.
The thoughts happen inside his brain.
Wave your hand next to your head.
It doesn't.
Keep waving your hand slowly.
Why? It's as if there's a tiny spinner on the side of his head and he's reeling thoughts out.
I tried.
Except he isn't.
The lieutenant is satisfied with where this is going.
A thought is going to come to my head, into my mouth, and I will say it.
Of course.
Keep doing it. Oh no.
Lieutenant, I truly don't understand what is happening here.
I told you his methods are unconventional.
What were we talking about anyway?
It was quite a while ago, but I think, yes, we were discussing my fast, large, ineluctably middle-class boat.
I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Easterlers 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo.
8% of all cargo in the world. That's quite the endeavor indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Do you know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Why? How was you looking at the photo tied to the lynching?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? I'll slay it.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCN both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Damn.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in the strike, precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
That's not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I like it.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Not hard communist. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker, a member of the board.
What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The king is dead, long live the workers. That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me Manana."
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
What do you think of Everard?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
That sounds like him.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
I remember hearing about this Edgar.
Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol?
Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Probably some kind of extortion.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
By the way, I've talked to Everard Clare.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
It's not important if I didn't. Yeah, I did not like him.
Come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, Verm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt Verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. I'll probably talk to her when Kim's not around.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois.
My badge. Yes, of course. My badge that I have on me.
He looks at you expectantly. Then it dawns on him.
I don't seem to have my badge, actually.
Oh. And what happened to it, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
How do I negotiate my way out of this?
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there is some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment.
Mazovian Socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
The 15th Indo tribe. I guess sure. I didn't do Hobo Cop. Sure. Let's do the 15th Indo tribe. Why not?
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there. but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh yeah, like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
And I got the giant novelty check.
Wasn't easy getting that giant novelty check from Everard. Took some ingenuity to get into the harbor, but you got in, and you took that bribe as hard as any cop's taken it.
You could say it took some money from the Manya guy too.
You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider.
I guess I've made some gills, yeah.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
The system is broken.
Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor?
Fucking taxes, man.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Revachol?
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gotham estate's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me into a free market type. Opt out.
Are you, a racist? Don't be a racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate. Ride or die. Keep it street. This guy's appropriating the emerging Boogie Street lingo as part of his sales pitch for the free market economy.
You're trying to sound like a Boogie Street youth to peddle me this stuff, aren't you?
Yeah. Ain't it cool, Ryder? Ain't it street?
It's not. Alright. We're gonna call it here. Thank you all so much for joining me for another awesome, hilarious episode of Disco Elysium. As always, we're gonna go ahead and rate someone on our way out. Let me just check to see who's online.